When I turned 18, my dad gave me $100 and said, go to a strip club. And we went to a Baltimore strip club for the first strip club.
It's
Baltimore.
legally. How many lap dances could you get for $100?
Oh my God.
1,000?
Three.
Yeah.
I mean, three. I mean, there was still $30, $40 a song. They were,
gorgeous?
I was,
They turned you on?
listen, they put down a towel.
No,
And again,
this
I'm a
only
virgin.
in Baltimore where they fucking put a towel down for what?
I think for me, honestly, you know, if they saw 18, we better put something between us. And they would sometimes do like isolations, like this butt cheek. And I was like, I'm not. Ooh,
you
cool.
don't like the ambidextrous butt cheek?
Yeah, But this woman, she fingered herself and gave me a wet willy.
Stop!
And
that's a move I got to write down. I ain't never heard no shit like that. What? I'm doing that the next. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, no one's ever done that to me since.
Yeah.
Because don't nobody know that's in the playbook.
Yeah. So I was doing a show in Virginia once, and there was this a woman. It's for the context of the story. It was a black woman, and she was like an amazing laugher. And then I did this joke about my sister posts life advice from Anthony Bourdain on her Instagram sometimes.
Yeah.
The joke was, going to Anthony Bourdain for life advice is like getting helicopter advice from Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
It was a groaner of a like, looked at this woman and she had stopped laughing.
Oh man.
Completely.
Yeah.
The whole rest of the show, I was just like, she hated that joke. That's like a line you don't cross. I went up to her after and I said, hey, sorry about that one joke. I know it's Kobe Bryant is like, a delicate subject. And she said, I'm an Anthony Bourdain fan. Can I ask a tucking question?
You can ask, for a demonstration.
It's the second episode. Sure.
Yeah.
Every guy, drag or not, at some point you go in the mirror, you go like this, and you go, "Oh, that's interesting," just to see what it looks like. But the tuck, is it further? Is it? How does it latch in there? Is this taped?
There's so many different ways. Like the ultimate tuck is taped. There's special panties, tucking panties that help facilitate and hold things in place a little bit. I don't tape. I'm way too hairy to do that, and I also some girls have a meaty pussy. So I'm that girl. But you know how tucking works?
I think I know how it works.
think we
It's you
heard
just
about
you
it
pull
once.
and
You're pulling like your dick and the skin of your ball sack back, but your actual balls, you send them back from where they came.
that's scary. That sounds stressful to me.
Are you ever just laying on your back with your legs up like this? Maybe
Yeah.
it's yoga.
You know I am.
So
I am. That's how I sleep.
Right.
So my mom gave, I think, one of the best anti-drug talks of all time.
What was it?
So I was 14. A family event occurred of a dark and tragic nature, of which I will not divulge here on this podcast.
Okay.
Leave it only to say it was bad.
Uh-huh.
And my mom took my stepbrothers and I, I'm biologically an only child, but took my stepbrothers and I and sat us down and was like, guys, you're at the age, I think we were around like 14. And she was like, we got to talk about this because it's in our family and you got to know about it. And she said, I want to tell you the deal. She's like, I did all this stuff. I was a soap opera actress in the 70s in New York. I was at Studio 54.
My mom was at Studio 54. She drove a great neck.
Did your mom show you her ceramic Coke spoon?
No.
Wow.
So
She accidentally snorted hers and they never found it.
it's somewhere in there, deep in the sinus. If you can get there, get the neti pot out. So she says, I'll just tell you, I can't wag a finger at you. It's hypocritical. It's not right. And any sort of moralizing I would do would just be fucking pointless. So let me just tell you what the deal is. Here's the deal. Pros. Drugs are fun.
Yeah.
The pros of drugs is they're fun.
Oh.
If you do them, you'll have fun. If you drink, you'll have fun. They're fun. Cons. How many friends do you have that are already doing this stuff? And we were like, like 7 or 10, between 7 and 10. She's like, 7 to 10. Okay. One of them is going to vanish from your life forever and always be sad when you talk about them. When you talk about them, because they're gone, they're a memory, you'll always be sad. So one of them probably.
Mm-hmm.
And I went, okay.
Uh-huh.
And she went, so they're fun. If you do them, you're playing Russian roulette. And she looked right at me and she said, and because of your genetics, your family history, you're playing with 3 bullets in the gun.
This is what you got a parent who's a writer.
My father took his citizenship test in Spanish.
What's on the citizenship test?
Because some of the questions are hard. They ask you like who's the mayor of Los Angeles.
Wouldn't get it.
You don't know the mayor of Los Angeles?
You know the
Karen Bass.
the two senators.
2 senators? No.
Okay, Speaker of the House for
Are
Sacramento.
you just gonna roll your eyes? Chris is
Speaker of
gonna be the
Hou-
one to deport me.
But you gotta also know the Speaker of the House
You don't
of
know the Speaker of the House.
the state of California too, because they have their own.
That I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. So
Get out of here. Was
Out
your
of the
dad stressed
100.
about this test?
he passed it. So one of the question that didn't pass, they asked me who's Susan B. Anthony, and I didn't
Sure.
know, and I
know.
just made a joke about it. And I said, Susan B. Anthony, that's that white lady who drowned her 2 kids and blamed it on 4 Puerto Ricans. She didn't think that was funny.
You have these like new ager type of women
Yes.
who like ethnic shamans, like these guys, long hair, and they're playing the Dancer with Wolves kind of look. And there's also native men who take advantage of it. They got they got their wives. We call them they're chiefing it up. Hey, fucking guys, fucking chiefing it up here, man. You know, I got buddies out there like they talk normal like this, but when they get a white audience, I want to talk about the ancestors and nature and the 4 winds. And I'm like, come on.
That voice, is it created by Hollywood or does it come
I don't
from a
know.
place?
I've wondered that myself because it's so prevalent that we kind of
You do
we
it
do
really
it
well.
ourselves.
Shut the
fuck. You do it really well. I've done voiceovers where they want that voice.
Of course, of course.
And they don't know how to explain it. Can you
No.
They bring a new age white woman in there.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
suddenly,
Talk to
boom,
her.
you're in.
Like-
My mom and I had to go to family therapy in 2016 when like all this
Tell
stuff
me
was
about family
happening.
therapy.
It was me, my mom, and my sister because we couldn't get into a conversation without her screaming about politics.
My dad once pitched therapy to me, like the two of us, and I was like,
And you said no?
he would have made me go to his therapist. I know it. I have this theory that one day I'm gonna go and I'm gonna look in and it's gonna be like a skeleton in a suit. And he's just been seeing this guy for the last 30 years.
Yeah.
Because if I met my dad's therapist, I would be like, hey, so what have we been working on over here? So 2016, it's because of the election?
Yes. We sit there in the therapy room. I'm like, listen, we can't speak without it immediately taking a detour into politics. And my mom goes, well, it's just that Obama wasn't born here and blah, 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 blah. And then the therapist looks at me mid my mom rant. She goes, my mom and my birth dad are not on good terms. And the therapist goes, Lily, do you think that you're harder on Charlene because she looks like your ex? And my mom looks at me and she goes, like a stamp.
Oh my God. Okay, so this sounds less like group therapy and more like what I said, like bring them to therapy and be like, fix this.
Everyone wants me to shit on Boston now that I've lived in New York.
No, we don't want that.
It's not going to happen.
No, we don't want
I love
that.
where I'm from.
Is there anything you go back and like you've changed and you go back there and you go like, oh, this is the old ways. You guys need to evolve.
There are these things that everyone there does that they don't know they're being rude or I guess the word is racist. I don't know if this is every family member, but if they're telling you a story, again, there was a Chinese lady and she was working the counter and like, oh, we don't have to really.
It doesn't
say
factor,
that
it
she-
doesn't factor into the story.
But it's different from like a Southern racism.
It's more clueless.
Uh-huh.
Which I don't
It's
want
more
to say
like
is
a
better,
Chinese
but they
woman.
don't.
Yeah.
Like yeah, like
They want
you
credit.
believe
They want credit for like bringing the diversity into the
Yeah.
story.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
hey, and
And I says to her, hello.
Just like that, like a regular hello.
Like a
And I
hello.
said hi to her.
Yeah.
That's good, right?
I think what people don't understand who don't come from divorced families is that when your parents date, you're confronted by the fact that they have sex. If people are married, you know,
yeah.
other than them having kids every once in a
Yeah.
while, you don't have to deal with it.
You were out of the house already, but I was 15 when
The divorce.
my dad and our mother split up. So I had like a good couple years of her dating. Do you want me to tell the circumcision?
Tell the
one?
circumcision
oh my
story.
God.
She was dating someone who I think was from Argentina, maybe somewhere in
Yeah.
Latin America. They had gone on a date, and then she was talking to a friend, and her friend said, "Is he circumcised?" And she was like, "Well, I don't know." She called me one day and said, "Of all my children, I thought you would be the one to ask. If he's not, I've never seen one before. I don't know what to do with it.
Wow.
Is there anything I should know? What do I do differently?
You know what's even worse is that she called me first.
Yeah.
I read that you were class president for 2 years. Is that true?
Yeah, junior and senior year, guys.
Did you have to run again or just that?
I did have to run again.
Okay, that's good.
Have you ever run into Hillary since and said, "Hey, look, I got it done"?
Did I troll Hillary Clinton? No.
Well, you ran on a anti-drug campaign.
Is that real?
So we had this like vaguely Christian anti-drug club called the Positive Edge.
Yeah.
What was that?
Straight edge.
That's a straight edge.
The straight edge kids would be like, and there was the symbol.
Kid, and it was
Oh
like,
my God, that looks so Nazi coded.
It does look Nazi coded.
It really is Nazi coded.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
That is the least, I think, violent looking
Yeah,
one. I did it till like 10th grade.
For those who can't see, it's an eagle holding up a swastika, and that's the best one we found so
Penis
far.
out, with its penis wagging.
Giant penis out.
Later in high school, once I was the president, I was like skipping school and getting high and having sex and shit, like being a normal teenager.
What was your slogan? Do you remember?
Well, I don't want to say it because it was very anti-Semitic. But
Oh my God!
I'm just kidding.
When we were in Washington, the few trappings of that I really appreciated were Hollywood pieces. Like we went to the premiere of Batman Forever. For this story to make sense, you have to understand that like all I understood about politics is what my dad brought home. He was Secretary of Labor for Clinton. And I knew that Newt Gingrich was like the enemy.
Okay.
That's what I knew. So it was after the premiere of Batman Forever. And someone says, Bob, to my dad. And dad turns around and there's Newt. So he turns around and says, this is my son, Sam. And I fold my arms and I turn around.
Wow.
People have traced that back to now the divide between.
Yeah, he started partisanship.
It all happened at Batman Forever.
My dad mailed me this package. I do not know what is in this box. So Russell's opening the box. My dad, every time he sends me something, his secretary, who's new every single time,
Oh, God.
asks what my address is. I open it up first thing. Liberace.
Liberace. There's a note with it.
Okay, so it says G. He was quit the entertainer and pianist. Love, Dad. Let me go to the second page. Dear son, it was very good to see you at Thanksgiving. I'm hopeful that you may be able to reach out so we can cultivate our relationship.
Oh, my God. Gianmarco. He's a really good dad.
Down the street from the hotel was a unique Chinese designer. Uh-oh, nervous. That made some really cool clothing. I saw this top and thought it might be fun to wear while on stage. It reminded me of Liberace. Oh my God. Oh, is there stains on the inside?
Those are either chocolate ice cream, blood, or poop.
It was packed with the stains on the outside.
And
Why
this
did he
is-
have to say that the designer was Chinese? There's no reason
There's
to bring
no-
up his race.
there's no-
By the way,
reference.
Tova, anyone else, when you look at my fashion and you're like, it's not always great or misses the mark, you do not understand what I've improved off of.
Here we go. There.
Do you think this is my dad's way of saying, like, we don't spend enough time together for him to know what kind of clothes I would wear?
My youngest sister, she was doing the Girl Scouts for a
Uh-huh.
while. My younger sister, Nella, who's 2 years younger than me, like, you know, my sister's like, will you, like, sign up for Girl Scouts? I'm like, of course, kid. Here's, like, $40, kid, go crazy. My sister's like, here's, like, $41. So then we're going back and forth. I left that party being, like, $200.
$200?
Yeah, I bought $200 worth of Girl Scout cookies.
What does that look like?
It looks like a huge box.
I think
Girl
you could have
Scouts.
imagined it if you wanted to.
No.
What is it, like 8? So 8 boxes does this like a Megazord thing and they become like a bigger box?
It had to have
If she
just...
said $2 million, I'd go, what does that look like? 200 it's a lot of boxes, but it's just a stack. What did it look like? A horse? Was it so big they had to put a vest over it too? Like it was a little Girl Scout?
Yo, stop asking questions.
Broadway makes these like gestures at sort of like a body diversity thing, but like it is really bleak.
I always think of like that one revival of Cabaret. These perfect bodied people, every single one of them. I was like, get me some ugly people right now on that stage, skinny, fat, ugly, everything, where I'm like, that's someone I believe would be working at this fucking place.
Yes.
I'm not talking about the current revival. I actually have no idea. But I the one 10 years ago.
There was a
like,
lot of uggos in the current
good.
revival.
Yeah. This is
Okay,
people,
good.
people
Good.
have said this is the ugliest cast of cabaret ever. So that's really cool.
Sometimes I'm like, I can't tell any of these people apart on stage because they're all the standard of beauty is kind of all at the same level.
Yeah, sometimes it feels like this is my impression of Broadway. I don't care if you're black, brown, purple, whatever. We'll accept anyone who has an eating disorder.
May I ask, are you a bear?
How polite. Historically, I have been categorized as a cub amongst the community.
Okay, what's a cub?
It's just like smaller.
You can go from being a bear to a cub if you lose a little weight.
Yes. Keep losing the weight, you become an otter. These are all real.
I'm closer to otter.
Call you an otter or a wolf.
A wolf?
Yeah, I don't know.
I feel like otters are a little shorter.
I don't think we should give him wolf. That sounds
You
too,
think I'm an otter? An
What
otter's
is
like
wo-
got to be 5 foot something.
I don't see you. You don't ring wolf to me.
Yeah, it's not necessarily like spiritually like, hello, little girl, what's your rush?
Yeah. These are the behaviors that people are like, you're not gay? Because like just...
I sold fart videos one time.
Really?
Stop.
I sent 3 videos to a guy. It was during Christmas and I really wanted the Nintendo Switch. I saw like the DM and he was like, hey, I saw you farted online. I was wondering, would you want...
Hey, big fan of your work.
And I was wondering if you wanted to sell me fart videos. I'd be interested to buy them. And I was like, oh my God. But then me and my friend were at McDonald's.
Quick, hit record. Did he have any requirements? Like, I want to see your full body in the video.
He was like, can you send me them now? He's like, I'm really horny right now. And then he did send me a video of him. It was like a video of him jerking off. And he was like, can you send them now? And I was like, wait, does that make me look bad? Am I a prostitute? Sex work.
That's sex work.
That's sex work.
It's
oh, absolutely.
it's
I've done
definitely
feet
sex
pics.
work.
It's sex work. It's fine.
Sex work.
No, you're fine.
And then I sent him like 3 videos that I had already recorded because I think... Because sometimes, you fart and you record it and you save it. So I sent him them and he was like, can I get a discount because you're laughing in them? Because he doesn't want to be laughed at while he's like...
Oh my God. There's something so funny about a man who wants you like stone-faced farting.
And then he sends me a screenshot of his bank account and he has $12 in his bank account and he said, my car just got reloaded. And so I didn't send him the videos and he's like, well, can we still like talk? And I was like, no. I was like, this is like a business for me. And he goes,
that's going to cost a lot more money than the farts conversation.
And then he was like, you're a bitch. And then I blocked him.
Oh my
He called me a
God.
bitch.